Salve, kunagi sorie, ego sum bene, higest, ego acidis. And we are on Lucans verses from the Pharsalia, Lesson 3B, Book 6, lines 492 to 495. We were previously talking about the Thessalians and the sway they hold over the gods, and that's what we're going to continue with here. With quis labrix superis, cantus herbas que sequendi, spernadique timor, o spermendique timor. Spernandique timor. That sounds terrible. Alright, we're going to cut that out. Cut! So quis here is being used in an odd way. He's using this to take the place of unde, from whence comes, all held within that one interrogative pronoun quis, which would normally mean who. Okay? From whence comes. Ich labor, this labor, you could say this exertion, this hardship. There are plenty of other things we could look up for that word to see if there is a better English translation for it. Okay, I don't think that's it. Drudgery, pain, suffering, any of those things you could probably use. Let's go back to here. So from whence comes this, suffering? Superis, on the gods. Sequendi. Sequendi is the singular masculine genitive future passive participle, aka the gerund, although gerunds need to be in the neuter, alright? Thus, it's a particular type of gerundive phrase. A gerundive can modify other words, like an adjective, and take objects, such as cantus and hierbas, whereas the gerund acts as a noun. So this is how the ancient Romans would use this type of word. They would take a gerund, use it like a gerund and like a gerundive. So the meaning of it comes from the gerund form, the noun form. From whence comes this labor upon the gods for following? It's in the genitive. Of following, for following, however you want to make that sound good. And then as a gerundive, which allows it to be masculine and take the objects, for following the cantus and herbasque, the objects of sequende, the songs and the herbs, or the incantations and the magical potions, right? So we've got from whence comes this labor, or this whatever, hardship, upon the gods, on the gods, for following these incantations and spells. Alright, and, which you get from que, and from whence comes this fear. So we're just reusing quis without re-typing it into our poem, or rewriting it into our poem. I don't think they were typing. So from whence comes this fear for, or fear of, scorning them. So again, we have the same thing here with spernendi that we had with sequendi. Same exact situation, same participle, future passive participle, being used as a gerundive phrase stolen from the gerund. All that to say, from whence comes this hardship upon the gods for following the spells and herbs, magic spells, whatever, and from whence comes this fear upon the gods of scorning them. So they're taking this same object here, cantus and irbasque. So the gods have some sort of external pressure put upon them to follow these spells and herbs and magic and stuff, and they are also afraid to speak out against them. There they go. They stopped. All right. Okay. It's a little bit of convoluted stuff going on with these gerund gerundive phrases. But we move on to what we hope will be simpler. We're going to start with our subject here, komerkia. Komerkia would be the plural neuter. You see that neuter there, nominative. It means something like stipulations or regulations or rules. And you see that this is a question, so you're going to start it with a questioning form. You also have this interrogative here, quis. So we know that this is a question. We've got quis here as our interrogative, and our subject is komerkia. So this being something along the lines of stipulations or agreements, we would say the stipulations, quis, of what? Which also modifies pakti. Pakti can be agreement, pact, contract. So the stipulations of what pact? Habuere. Let's have a look at habuere. Your first instinct tells you that this is what? That it is the infinitive. And of course you would assume that because you have ere. But if we take a trip back over to our Latin lexicon and look it up, as you should do when in doubt, you will find it is not the infinitive. Let's look here first. Habere is the infinitive. Right away, bells should go off because the word we're looking at is habuere. Well, the accent isn't there. Habuere. So there's an u in there, right? A u. See? It's not the infinitive. Thus, you've got a syncopated verb, or Latin lexicon likes to call it the short form, so as not to confuse you. It's a third plural perfect. Okay, it's a perfect syncopated perfect. I love those. I don't know why. I just like those. They're fun. Because they're tricky. Tricky. So the stipulations of what pact holds. So these stipulations are plural. This is the subject of your third plural perfect verb, habuere. So these stipulations hold the gods, deus, obstrictos, confined or bound. So you could put it in that format. The stipulations of what pact holds the bound gods or holds the gods bound. I say gods bound. It just sounds better in English. Okay. And then again, we've got another question. Not here, but keep going because this is not the end of the sentence here. So while you've got nekesest, Is it necessary? That's what that phrase means. You want to turn it into a question. Is it necessary to obey? Parere. And that is the actual infinitive of preu. Look it up. You will find that that is the infinitive. Neo, what are you growling about? Ignoskite me. Is it necessary to obey? Or is it helpful? Or is it a benefit? What? He's just leaving out a lot of stuff here. It's poetic. You know, poets of all ages do this kind of stuff. So we're talking about the deos. Is it necessary that the gods obey what? Well, the subject, or the, not the subject, the object of this whole thing, the incantations and the herbs or spells, whatever. Or is it help? Is it a benefit? Does it benefit the gods to do so, to obey? So we have from the beginning, from whence comes this exertion upon the gods above for following the cantus et herba, the songs and herbs or spells, and from whence comes this fear of spurning these songs and spells. The regulations of what pact holds the gods bound. Is it necessary that they obey these stipulations or these songs and herbs, or is it just a benefit to them to carry them out? So that is this section in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. That would be magistraaurelia@gmail.com. You can drop a question in the comments below, up to you. Check out the website where you will find more resources. Gracias, te viago et vale.